Alrighty.
Round and around and around. Woo! This is fun.
As we roundabout our way onto the highway, let's discuss the game we just watched. For the first period, the Bruins decided they wouldn't know or remember how to complete a pass. And if they were going to make a pass, they wanted to make that pass to a player in a blue jersey. That was really important to them. And they were good at it. So I was mildly nervous. After Boston scored to tie it 2-2, and I started feeling good, and then Tuukka allowed Captain Civi goal to make it 3-2, I got really nervous. Vancouver didn't take full advantage of the fact that Tuukka Rask wasn't playing particularly well tonight. Neither team had a strong power play. Neither team had very many opportunities on the power play either. But in the third period, Boston got it together and buried a lot of opportunities. I felt bad for Ryan Miller. The stat line is going to show that Miller allowed 5 goals on 41 shots. I thought Miller kept the Canucks in the position they were in. Boston had more shots. They controlled the game in the first. And Miller was the reason they were up. And the Canucks wasted another fantastic game for Miller. And his 700th start, or 700th game too. And, you know, in a roundabout way, while I was wearing Boston gear, and I was definitely cheering for Boston, I did feel like it would be nice to see Miller get a win in his 700th game. And yet, I knew Boston needed those 2 points more than Vancouver did. Vancouver's not going to the playoffs. Boston hopefully is. And I wanted them to keep the pressure on Ottawa and Montreal. I don't want them to start falling back. I don't want to see Tampa catch them. Notice Tampa won again tonight. Tampa's getting close. With the Islanders' loss and Tampa winning, guess what? Tampa is right in the heart of it. They are right in the thick of the playoff chase. And, yeah. So that happened. But in terms of tonight's game, my takeaways are this. Bruce Cassidy's messing with the blue line pairings on the Bruins, and I don't like what he's doing with them. There were a lot of times I didn't see Carlo with Chara. I mean, the results are there, but the defense has issues in Boston, and Vancouver just didn't have the skill to keep up. I thought Drew Shore played well for a guy who hasn't played an NHL game in quite a while. He had an assist, and he took a penalty. He definitely was a little bit slower than the other guys out there, but that's to be expected from a guy who signed a contract with the team like 24 hours ago. So I'll give him a pass on that. I thought Edler had a good game. Granlund had a great first period. The funny thing was, after Granlund scored the second goal, the guy sitting next to me said, hey, maybe this is going to be a hat trick, and took my Bruins hat off. And of course, if you watched the game or you looked at the highlights, the hat trick ended up being Marchand. So he's probably home saying, I jinxed the Canucks, I took a Bruins hat off and said hat trick, and then the Bruins got a hat trick. Because I know, personally, I would feel that way. I'd feel like I had jinxed my team by making a statement like that. I don't know. It was a great game. There was a lot more Bruins fans there than I'd expected. By the end of the game, Bruins fans were quite loud. When Marchand scored the hat trick goal, which was the empty netter, I cheered the empty netter. 2 seconds later, I felt beer splashed against the side of me. And I heard something said by the kid that was almost behind me off to the side. I think he swished his beer in my direction and hit me with some of it. And it's like, it just sort of brought to mind all the feelings I've had towards Canuck fans over the years. And this is not a statement of all of them, but man, there's some assholes in Canucks fan land. I know there are with the Bruins fans too. But with the Bruins fans I talked to tonight, and I actually had a really good chat with the guy who sat in front of me in between the first and second period. He was a Canuck fan, but it's just too bad that you've got the drunks and the assholes who do tend to ruin it for everybody else. There was a lot of drunks coming out of that game. And I guess there's no way really to fix that. You can't really legislate people not being assholes. But it just seemed like people were really drunk coming out of that game. And if somebody can explain to me how you enjoy an NHL hockey game while you're hammered, because I didn't feel like I wanted anything to drink. I mean, a beer with friends, okay, but hammered? I guess as a Canuck fan, because they're in the tank, maybe you want to be in the tank too. Let's get tanked, they're in the tank. I don't know, maybe. But it was a fun game. I actually ran into somebody who's a subscriber to the channel at the game. I almost ended up on the big screen, but my bladder said no and called me away. And when I came back up, Yvonne was on camera. So Yvonne was seen on the big screen. I don't know if she actually got on television, but she was seen on the big screen by about 10, 12,000 people.
Yeah, more than me too.
And it was great. It was great. So 800 people have watched her fixed jerseys, and now 12,000 people have seen her in Canuck regalia at a Canucks game. So that was fun. Yeah, it's different watching it live. I had a hard time not watching the giant Tron there over the ice. I tried to make sure I watched the action on the ice so that I could pay attention to things. Pasternak's defensive game is horrendous. Thankfully, he doesn't really need one. The funny thing is, in the first period, I noticed he was puck hogging quite a bit, and I said out loud, and Yvonne can back me up on this, I said he needs to pass the puck.
Yep.
He needs to stop doing this. Stop hogging the puck. And then he got 2 assists, so he must have heard me from all the way up in the nosebleeds saying pass the puck. Because it was frustrating watching him go in 1-on-4. Jimmy Hayes was invisible. I kept an eye out for him. I think he maybe got 3 shifts in the whole game, and if he played more than that, I didn't see him. So I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing. I thought Riley Nash had a decent defensive game for a team that didn't play great defense. Bergeron was fantastic. Patrice Bergeron is just such a smart hockey player. Every time 37 is on the ice, you notice him. Brad Marchand with 4 points tonight showed once again why I hate him. Because he is so bloody talented, and he is so good at what he does. He doesn't need to pull the bullshit that he does on the ice. He did rile up the Canucks towards the end of the first period, and I could see what he was doing. I could see he was trying to get in their heads, so they focused on him, and it seemed to work, because from that point on, Boston had control of the game back. So for guys who watched the game as well, let me know what you guys saw. That's what I saw. I saw Marchand basically controlling the game. I didn't see any dirty hits out there. I didn't see anything nasty. There was one almost scrum at the end of the first period, and then nothing came of it, and then the rest of the night was pretty clean. Any hatred between these teams is severely muted because most of the players who were in the 2011 Canucks team are gone, and almost anybody who had animosity with the Bruins is gone. And for the Bruins, they just wanted to win the game tonight and move on because they want to get to the playoffs, they want to get there healthy. But Vancouver blew an opportunity. I think part of it for Vancouver is when you've got guys in the lineup that they've got. And I looked at that bench. And for me, part of the measuring stick is when you've got that many guys who have numbers in the 40s, 50s, and 60s on the back of their jerseys, they're probably not the guys you were counting on at the start of the year. They're probably not your main guys. And you're probably running with a bit of a depleted lineup. I thought the Canucks did as well as they could considering the lineup they've had on the ice. And, it's a rough rest of the season for Canuck fans. But it was fantastic being able to see the Bruins for the first time in my life. I was thrilled the whole game to see Torrey Krug. Tuukka Rask's mask is just gorgeous. It is a thing of wonder. It is an absolute thing of wonder. I love that thing. Ryan Miller's mask is nice too. No insult meant to Ryan Miller's mask. It's a thing of beauty as well. But yeah, that was great. So it's March 13th. The moon is almost full.
It was full moon yesterday.
I was a full moon yesterday. There you go.
Yep.
And traffic is mildly light. I would imagine most of the Canuck fans have already gone home or lived in Vancouver or whatever they were doing. But yeah, so I figured I would do a video before I get home so that I don't have to do this when I'm home, because I'm wrecked tomorrow for work. I'm just wrecked. Is it worth it? Absolutely. It is. This is absolutely 100% worth it. Yvonne is the most amazing woman in the world. And as her mother suggested, yes, she does have a very good mother as well. But yeah, that was great. That was tremendous fun. And I don't know if Boston's going to go anywhere in the playoffs, but it sure is nice to see Boston winning some games and finishing off games like tonight that they should finish off. With apologies to Canuck fans, if they were playing any other team tonight, I would have been cheering for them. And yeah, it was pretty cool seeing a subscriber to the channel and talking to him, and that was fun. So just for future reference, if I go to games and people see me in public, absolutely go over and talk to me. I don't have a problem with that. You know, you can call me by my first name. It sounds better than hockey guy. I think people saying Shannon is okay. I think, hey, hockey guy is kind of weird. I think that would be weird.
It would be weird.
That would be strange.
I think a lot of people know you as hockey guy. I don't know that all your subscribers know what your name is.
Well, they may find out now.
Yeah.
And it is Shannon, and yes, I'm a guy, and yeah, I'm supposed to be named Shannon. All right. That is my post-game report. Let me know what you guys think in the comments section below, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe, because tonight you've had excellent footage of the Trans-Canada Highway. This has been fantastic footage, and that's the moon, and it's a British Columbia moon. Yeah, that's actual skunk, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because if it was pot, we wouldn't have smelled it like that. Well, pot and skunk smell very similar.
But generally we don't.
But no, you're not going to smell pot when you're doing 110 down the highway. You shouldn't.
If you did, I'd be worried.
You really shouldn't. All right. On that note, I'm done for tonight. 3,000 subscribers. This is fun. I'm very happy. Thanks, you guys, for making this a reality. And onwards and upwards. And the drive for me is to 5,000, and then we can start looking at getting all the ads off the channel altogether, going with like sponsorship kind of crap. And I've already been sort of nosing my way around with Sportsnet, TSN, and things of that nature, and trying to figure out the best way to get the channel exposure. So thanks for your faith in me. Thanks for watching my videos and listening to me yap. I'm not sure why you guys do it, but I appreciate it. I appreciate it very much, and I'll talk to y'all again tomorrow.